down the middle, intercepted!
15, 10, 5, touchdown, UMass!
Welcome back to the UMass Football Show here on WMUA 91.1. This is episode 2 of the Summer Football Podcast. I'm here with Aidan Tarr and Aiden Shea. Another duplicate name episode is what it is. It's just kind of the cards we've been dealt. I'll start with you, Aiden Shea. How are you doing?
All right. How's your summer been, Dylan? I know you just
good.
had the Knicks win this offseason. How was it?
Cannot complain being in New York during that. All of the Massachusetts fans would love to hear about my happiness in that area. With that, I'll kick it to Celtics fan Aidan Tarr. How are you doing?
It's been a bit of a rough off season for us, but not as invested in basketball as I am my Buccaneers, which are also giving me hell. So rolling with the punches, but had a great summer so far.
Last time we touched on the defensive line a little bit. We talked about Josh Nobles. We heard what he had to say going into the season. We'll stay there for a little bit. This defensive line is going to be a make or break unit for the team. We said last time that they had very little when it came to pressuring the quarterback. This season, they've made some additions and they've gotten some size up front. What do you guys think on there?
Yeah, I mean, these are collegiate level quarterbacks, whether you're in the MAC, whether you're in FCS, whether you're in FBS. If you're not putting pressure on a quarterback, they're going to sit in a pocket and they're going to dice up your defense. So Josh Noble's returning, obviously. Those other three guys that we have on there, all brand new faces, guys that transferred in, and they're bringing a lot of size up front. They're really looking for a reformation entirely for that defensive line rush, take some earnest off of the DBs, and I'm really excited to see what this unit has to offer.
And this is a lot deeper of a room, too, than you could even think, because you have guys like Ramondo Johnson, the other DePape brother. There's just a lot of different pieces that they can work in and out. So if this isn't even the number one starting lineup, they're going to have a good rotation of rushers that they can just piece in wherever that they feel that they fit in better on whatever down and situation that they could want.
And that's especially important to have a good rotation in your edge rushers because these guys can't go the full game. And especially when you look at a guy like Josh Nobles, who's coming off of a serious injury, you need someone who's able to back him up, A, if he gets hurt, but B, also because he hasn't been conditioning with the guys in the same way that everyone else has. I believe that he's going to be ready to go, but there's no telling how important your depth is going to be in these situations, especially because of that. But you look at a guy like Justin Krueger, coming in from William and Mary, he has a skill set that this team has desperately needed.
I absolutely love the way that he plays football. He's very physical first. He's not afraid to take on a pulling blocker. He's just going to be the first person to make contact with you. Sometimes that doesn't play necessarily to his advantage, but he is somebody that is definitely very gap responsible, understands what he needs to do as far as the scheme of the game to make sure that players like Tyler Martin or Timmy Hines-Peter, if they're blitzing, he's going to be in the spot that he needs to be in to open up the rest of that defense.
And you kind of said it there. He's really good at knowing what he needs to do. He's one of those guys that just kind of a game wrecker. He's not going to maybe get the most counting stats as a defensive lineman, but he's just going to be always around the football. He's going to be pressuring people. He's going to have at least have a hand on the running back if he doesn't make the tackle. He's going to blow up a double team. He's just going to be annoying for the rest of the offense to deal with.
All right, we've got some film to break down on it. Let's roll the tape. Aiden Shea, I'll let you take it away.
And you can just see how athletic he is. This is just a fun thing. He's just chasing down a quarterback all the way down the field. But really, something that he's good at is just interior pressure. Like I said, just being annoying to the quarterback, just wins with tenacity, gets to the back. And he got used at William & Mary also on the edge too. We'll see that in a little bit. So that means you can stunt him around, scheme him up so that you can move him and swap him over on twists with the defensive tackles. He's really good at that sort of thing, of just a movable chess piece on the defensive line where you can get pressure from almost anywhere in any gap. Like you can see there where he's just coming all the way around. He didn't get the sack there, but you can see that they schemed him to the other side. And on this where he just is bull rushing a tackle and force fumble, strip sack. he's really good as a blindside rusher too, not just off of the edge, being that hard run stopping defensive end sort of deal. He is just this really good chess piece all over the field. Like Aidan Tarr said, he's really smart. He just knows his responsibility. He's going to be a really big boon for this defensive line, just simply because, like you said, Josh Nobles might go out again. We might have an injury along anywhere else on the defensive line, and having that fluidity lets you play within and outside of scheme, because you could put him as a 3 technique down defensive end where he more has his hand in the dirt. It's just anything like that. Having a player like this lets you do more things with your defense than you could before, just based on how he plays.
Versatility is so important, especially for a team that, let's face it, last season, they were not able to get to the quarterback, and part of that is due to lack of versatility in the way that they were rushing. You had a couple speed rushers on the side. You really didn't have much in terms of power, but then they also had no depth. They had very serious injuries a very serious injury to Josh Nobles, and then from there, you really couldn't do all that much in the department of getting to the quarterback. But Justin Krueger is just someone who has so much confidence. I had the chance to talk to him about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and you can hear in his voice that he's ready to go. Let's roll that interview.
How's it going, UMass fans? I'm Dylan Shalom here with UMass defensive lineman Justin Krueger. Justin, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm very good.
Good.
How's the summer been so far?
It's been going good. Definitely not used to this cool weather during the summer. I'm used to it being a little bit hotter, so it's been good so far.
What's the adjustment been like coming from William & Mary, now being at UMass?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of differences. I would say mostly the tempo of practice is a lot different. Here it's much more intentional about what we're doing with our time, and we're always running in between drills, and they put a big emphasis on that. So,
the conditioning feel good?
Yeah, it's tough, but it's going to be good for the long term for sure.
What's the biggest change in camp going from FCS to FBS?
I would say, obviously the competition level is going to be a little bit higher. They're definitely throwing the book at us a little bit more, so learning the plays and the stunts and all that stuff is a little bit of an adjustment, but it's been good so far.
What's the cohesiveness looking like in the defensive line room?
It looks good. We got a lot of talent. I'm really excited to see what this group can do this year.
And what worked for you last season?
That's a good question. I would say just playing my brand of football. I've always been a high effort guy, so that's something that I take pride in myself. No matter what, just giving 100% effort, and just basically that's what I do.
How difficult has it been going up against some of these offensive linemen here?
Yeah, it's been a good challenge for sure. I love the competition, so it's nothing I harp away from, but I love doing it.
What's one song you would add to the team playlist?
I gotta say anything by Kodak Black. I'm gonna say "There He Go" by Kodak Black.
It's the second Kodak answer we've gotten.
Okay,
yeah, Max
good.
gave us Kodak.
Let's go. Let's go.
Have you gotten a chance to go to all the dining halls here yet?
No, I've only been to Worcester.
Okay.
We call it Worcester, the new transfers, but yeah, that's the only one I've gone to so far. It's good though. It's good. Yeah.
Number one dining in the country.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Was that part of the recruitment plan?
A little bit for sure. Was looking at the nutritional side of things with the strength coach and all that. The strength coaches have been super good in that process and just giving me the right amount of food and stuff. So it's been good.
What's one thing that really annoys you?
When people talk too much. That's all I can say.
And what makes you work?
I would say coaches coaching me hard, and myself just wanting to be the best version of myself, best football player I can be. And then along with coaches just pushing me out on the field, in the classroom, in every way.
Right, thank you so much, Justin.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
That was Justin Krueger, and from that you could tell the confidence, the swagger. Something that really stuck out to me is how much he fits in with what Joe Harasimiak wants to do. This is a guy who self-said, when coaches push me hard. That is exactly what Joe Harasimiak wants out of his player. Someone who is ready to take the heat, ready to go into war with what the coaches are saying. And I think it's a good player to bring in to fit that vision.
And I love that he doesn't come across as kind of pompous, but he comes across as just plain confident. He has swagger. He has this feeling that he can go out there and do what he wants to do, no matter who's lined up across from him. And I think that's something big coming off of a winless season. You got to have a mentality that season is gone. That does not matter. This is a whole new program. He wasn't here to experience that But regardless, he's coming in and thinking all these guys seem so bought in, like we're going to go to a bowl game. It's just like, it feels to me like everything has been such a wash from last season, and the entire mentality has just been a switch. Some sort of switch is flipped. These guys are insanely bought in, and I love to see that kind of energy, especially from a guy that you want to hit the quarterback.
Yeah, like you said, whether it's just like the whole roster turnover or just we got the right people, there's a completely new feeling around this team whenever you talk to any of the players. I think it's just because nobody wants to remember that last season. It's all behind everybody now. They feel like they can contribute and really change the culture and start winning around here simply just because they, like, with this new infusion of talent and mentality from even up to national champions at Indiana, there is a sense of, yeah, we can do it now. We have the people, we have the coaching, we have the talent. We can just do it.
Well, you talk about a season to forget. Two of these linebackers, though, had a season to remember. Two returning studs to the team, Tyler Martin, Timmy Hines-Peter, are still going to be figures for what this team wants to do. You look at that, and Timmy Hines-Peter only played a little more than half the season, combined for 173 tackles between the two of them. These are the quarterbacks of the defense, and the defense is what Joe Harris-Simiak is the most interested in. They're going to be the identity of this team.
I think they have a giant responsibility this season. We talked about how they brought in so many new guys up front. They brought in so many guys in the secondary. The really only piece of continuity on this defense is that linebacking core. They're going to have to coach these guys into the spots that they want them to be. Something as simple as a nose tackle understanding if he's going to the left A gap, the right A gap, if he needs to extend to the B gap. Any little miscommunication like that can allow a halfback dive to go 75 yards. So there's a lot of pressure on these guys' shoulders. But the way that they carry themselves, the things that we've seen out of them, especially during the spring, how they're talking about their guys and they feel like such a cohesive unit, I think they are well off in being able to do that kind of thing.
And these are like those kinds of linebackers that could carry your defense just as those centerpieces. They're both really versatile in being able to play against the run. They're both really good in zone, I think. And just having those two guys, like you said, to be able to be the coaches out there on the field while the play is happening, to be able to help people figure out this new system with all the roster turnover. That's just something that that position is just so set now that we've known that these two are going to start all year. It's just about, and I think other MAC teams will know that those two are the guys that stuck from last year. We know that they are the problem people. They were really good last year, even in a down season. But that's just such a good thing to have, and those really are the identity of this defense right now.
They've brought in other linebackers as well because you lose Rashard Henry, who was very important to the success of the linebacking group last year. But you bring in a guy like Joshua Isaiah, Kari Bendoff, freshman Moritz Strempel. It should be a good group similar to what it was last year. And then you also have Dinos Drosos, who's growing into his role in the team. I'm very excited about this linebacker group.
And I think this whole defense is just coming together very cohesively. I love the way that Harris-Simiak seems to kind of handpicked his guys into a scheme. It's not like he's just trying to find the best available player, but the people that he's finding are all complementing each other. I think Tyler Martin and Timmy Hines-Peter are great run-stopping linebackers, and I think Josh Nobles and Justin Krueger both know how to really get at the quarterback. When you can rush the quarterback and you can stop the run, that is a telltale sign of a good defense. He went out and recruited a lot of DBs that are great run stoppers as well. So the entire brand of this defense just seems to be physicality, violence. And that is something that a lot of football teams have strayed away from. It feels like a lot of people are looking at X's and O's. What zone can I drop into? How can I disguise my defense? At the end of the day, if you have a linebacker that can come down and fill an A gap and pop a running back for a 3-yard loss, that is going to change the entire mojo of an offense. And that is going to give such a momentum boost to your defense. So I just love how this team seems so ready to play a huge physical brand of football.
Yeah, and like we talked about with the defensive line earlier, those guys are just gonna be able to feast because they're getting more help than last year. Just to be honest, this is definitely a more talented defensive line room than last year, just overall as the entire group. So just they're gonna have a lot easier time to fill those gaps, clean up on stuff that gets funneled to the outside or up the middle, and that in turn just makes your DB's life easier because they don't have to worry about as many runs getting bounced out to the corner. Safeties don't have to come down and make as many plays. It's just overall something really good to have both of those guys at the center of your defense being able to help everybody else in totality.
You look at things that Coach Kite has said, defensive coordinator, Coach Harasimiak has said, violence is the answer for this defense. And it's a really good thing to have two guys that have been in that system and they had success individually, although the team did not have success. It's a lot better to have a lot of guys that are fighting, ready to have a chance. A lot of these guys, it's their first time playing FBS football. You look at Zakar Morris coming from FCS. You look at some other guys. I mean, Justin Krueger is the perfect example. Then you also look at the DePape brothers who have not played FBS football. They want their chance. These are guys that are ready to play football violently, hard, and that's exactly what the recruitment strategy was. And my question to you is, with all of these guys having a huge chip on their shoulder, does that bode well for team chemistry, or could that be potentially divisive?
I could see why it could cause a lot of headbutting, but I think one thing that's important is there's a common goal to win. Whether you were on the roster last year when they couldn't win a single game, whether you came in from an FCS school, and you feel like you need to prove yourself, or if you want to get more looks for transferring to a bigger Division I program, regardless, what I see Harasimiak building is a culture that is doing what it can take to win. I can see somebody like Josh Nobles drawing a lot of double teams that opens up a guy like Justin Krueger, that opens up a guy like Zakar Morris to get after the passer more. I like to think that seeing these things and individual success alone should help cultivate a successful program in general. I think they all have a bit of a chip on their shoulder, whether they're coming from all sorts of different backgrounds. And I can see how there could be issues like egos colliding a little bit, but I like to think that there's a bigger reason behind that.
I would say that it could be a really good thing or a really bad thing in the end. Because if they get here and they get hot out of the gate and they win 2 of the first 3 games and then they could be like, yeah, we're turning this around. We like the momentum could start to shift that way. But if they come out and they lose the first 3 games, then people could start thinking in that locker room, oh, why did I come here versus somewhere else, or just stay where I was before? So that sort of chip can go either way of, yeah, we are here to change it, or it could kind of work against you in that sense.
That's all we have time for today on the UMass Football Show. Scan the QR code to find our Twitter page. Again, our YouTube page is WMUA 91.1. We are the home for all things Minutemen sports and football fans. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. If you're interested in underwriting for WMUA to help us do a lot of cool things for our station this year, reach out to myself, DSHALOM at UMass.edu, or ealtman, EALTMAN at UMass.edu. We could just have something really cool to work together for. Thank you so much for tuning in.